all the time, we can't say that they cheat. We got to say that they allegedly cheated.
No, well, in this particular instance, what occurred was he got flagged for an illegal pick when, in fact, it was not an illegal pick. He was actually running a route.
He was the victim. That's what I've been saying.
He lowered his head.
One of the rare times he was actually running a route.
He's the victim.
He is the injury.
Okay. Let's get off.
It's called a pick route.
Delusional.
Enough of Pod defending the Patriots and their shadiness. Next game.
They are not. Before
the Dolphins aren't good.
We haven't talked about the Dolphins yet.
The Dolphins aren't good.
Dolphins
plan was to try and get Tua. So what are the Dolphins' plans now that Tua is hurt? Neil,
Ron said they're going to the playoffs next year.
To get Tua, that's it. Next game.
They're not. They are not drafting Tua. Tua is not available. Here, I'll take the mystery away. There's no way in the world Tua Tagovailoa plays an NFL snap next season.
But they're thinking long term. They're not worried about.
Who cares about next season? That's not
a playoff team.
That's not Miami's goal.
No, they want the best quarterback possible long term. And at number 4 or 5, wherever they pick, if Tua's there, he's it.
Yeah, I agree. Or the Dolphins are just a trash organization, and they'll be in this same conversation for the next 10 years.
This is how NFL teams should do it. If you're not first, you're last. Just strip it down, start over. And, I mean, if he's available, you sit him. You go one more year with the Amish rifle. You'll have your fans will have some fun because he's fun to watch.
Mahomes sat for a year. Lamar Jackson sat for most of his first year. Who cares? He doesn't need to play next year.
Yep. And also, if he doesn't turn out to be healthy enough to ever play at a high level in the NFL, then the following year they can be in the stakes for Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I see no reason why they wouldn't draft him. His injury, not to nerd out, is a lot of people compare it to the Bo Jackson injury. It's not like
not
that.
The same.
No necrosis.
Not the same.
No, it's not the same.
Not the same at all.
It's almost like you're saying the Americans are stupid and they need to be spoon-fed a false narrative in order to understand what's going on.
Yeah, well, Jay, let's also remember the Bo Jackson injury happened 30-odd years ago, and medicine has changed as well. So,
the problem was it wasn't taken care of, so there was necrosis of the muscles, which is what happened with him. That didn't happen in this case. He was right away, boom, boom, boom. So
that's right.
Agreed, there is a difference in 30 years. There's definitely more of an urgency. Yeah. There's more knowledge. But I've seen people compare it to that. It's nothing like that.
Bo Jackson was a genetic freak that most human beings could never aspire to become, and
all right, steady there.
I would like to point out though, Tua is not. It's not just Tua's hip. Tua's got steel all up and down his legs.
But
Jay, as you know, I'm on this podcast to give life advice, so I can give you one bit of life advice, which will see you into your 50s and 60s if you're not already there. If you don't buy a ticket, you won't win the raffle.
That's
what it is about quarterbacks. Just keep taking them, pick them until you find Tom Brady in round 6.
I still think
it worked out for Cleveland.
I still think it's in Miami's best interest to pick a player that's actually going to perform for them next season.
No, it's not.
No, that's not going to change the habits of lifetime.
You missed the part where the Dolphins had to fire sale for the first week of the season where anybody worth anything was traded away for virtually nothing.
I did, and they have the second most amount of cap space in free agency going into this year.
You can't long-term.
They're not going to use.
But Jay, there's another issue there, and that is coaching. Just have a look at the guys. I think somebody mentioned it might have been Monty at the start of the show. The guys who were underperforming in Miami went to different teams and are now playing superbly well. I'll pick out Minkah Fitzpatrick as one guy. The Dolphins' defensive coaches did not know how to play this player, and it was always very simple when you saw him in the draft. Yeah, pre-draft, he could do lots of things in college, but he was a free safety. He was always going to be a free safety. What happens? They trade him to the Steelers, who play him at, surprisingly, free safety, and he's a Pro Bowler in 10 weeks. I mean, that points to me that there's issues at the Dolphins coaching staff if they can't take talented players and play them in the right positions. That's a bigger worry.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, 45 degrees and mostly cloudy in Foxborough. I'm surprised that there's no rain in the forecast there. I thought there would be.
There'll be raining tears in a couple of weeks, Jay. Don't you worry.
The final 1:00 game is the New Orleans Saints 12-3 at the Carolina Panthers 5-10. The Saints are second in our power rankings. The Panthers are 27th. The Saints are favored by 13. Saints, I believe, are playing for seeding. Panthers are trying out rookie Will Grier. We don't care about that. What we care about on this particular podcast is the Christian McCaffrey watch, who had 15 receptions and 173 scrimmage yards, 119 of them receiving last week, James. Which
You're welcome, Pod.
Yeah, which I didn't think was going to happen. He joined Hall of Famer Marshall Faulk and Chris Johnson as the only players with 9+ games of 150+ scrimmage yards in a single season. He has 109 receptions in 2019 so far. That's the most by a running back in single season in NFL history. Is the first running back in NFL history with 2 seasons of 100+ receptions. He leads the NFL with 2,294 scrimmage yards, needs 216 scrimmage yards to surpass Chris Johnson, who had 2509 in 2009 for the most scrimmage yards in a single season in NFL history, and needs only a mere 67 receiving yards to join Marshall Faulk and Roger Craig as the only players with 1,000 season in NFL history. I think he's going to do it.
Lock it
now
up.
you think he's going to do it? Really? Now you think
I think now he'll do it. Last week it didn't look good. I mean, getting 100 receiving yards in a game for a running back is a difficult thing to do.
Okay. And the fact that they played a rookie quarterback for the first time all season, and what do rookies normally do when they come out? Throw to the tight end and dump off to the running back, which we talked about last week, and you still didn't think he was going to get the yards?
Listen, dump off yards don't equal 100. I mean, it takes a lot of dump offs to get to 100 yards.
Well,
I'm sorry, how many catches did he have last week?
I don't remember. I just read it too.
Yeah, you did just read it.
It's like 19, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Listen, he had 15. He had 15 catches last week. Listen, he did it. Great. Phenomenal. Great. I can't wait. I can't wait to watch this. By the way, they're going to lose. We're all going with the Saints. I'm even locking it in. I mean, this one is going to be, and even with Teddy Two Gloves, I'll give the 13 points to Carolina. It's not even a question mark there.
It's a fantastic achievement, isn't it? I mean, the only third player in NFL history to do it. That's going to be quite the achievement when he does it. Tremendous.
Question for you, Pod. Everyone's saying that McCarthy was down in Carolina, and he's probably on the circuit for all these open jobs. Is he coaching in the NFL next year?
Yes.
I think he has to be. I think there's got to be a team that wants him.
Well, let's just say that McCaffrey had better get his 1,000 this year, because it's not going to happen next year.
Neil said that Mike McCarthy ruined Hall of Famer Aaron Rodgers' career, and another team's going to take that on?
I know, it's terrible, isn't it? I mean, he's so outdated. I mean, I just cannot understand.
Someone's going to do it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, somebody's going to do it, because there's such a dearth. Yeah. Such a dearth of potential head coaches.
Well, if we think he's outdated in terms of the way that he coaches a quarterback, Carolina is in an interesting position where maybe it's time to move on from Cam Newton. But is it the Play 60 kid or Will Grier that's going to be the quarterback that they move on with?
They shouldn't move
either.
That franchise Cam.
They maybe shouldn't move on from Cam, but I mean,
that's where Jacoby Brissett will end up.
Oh,
Jacoby will end up in Carolina?
No, I don't know.
So, Pod, I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Let's say they do go ahead and get rid of Cam, however, via, letting him walk a free agency trade, and they're left with, like you said, the 2 quarterbacks they currently have on the roster. Neither one of them is a long-term solution for whatever it is they want to do in the future. Yeah. They have too many veterans on this team as it is already at key positions where they could still virtually win now. And quarterback being the most important position, you need someone who's not just a game manager, but someone who can play at a high level every now and then, basically good consistently to run that offense. They don't need a superstar quarterback. They just need someone who gets the job done week in and week out. The problem
Neil just said Jacoby Brissett.
Okay, first of all, Jacoby Brissett has a 3-year contract he just signed at the beginning of the season after Andrew Luck retired. He's not going anywhere. So
it's very cap friendly too.
Yes, it is. So Neil can squash that pipe dream. It's never going to happen.
Yeah, he's doing like a 2-year, $20 million deal. It's a great deal.
Right. So, I mean, again, who do the Panthers bring in at quarterback if they let Cam walk? And I have friends who are diehard Panthers fans who are convinced Cam Newton is going. My only question is, who do you bring in?
Depends. What will they get for him?
Will you get? Isn't he a free agent?
No. He's under contract, which is why I think this whole conversation is silly. He's not going anywhere. They're going to start Cam Newton. He's clearly the best quarterback by far that they have on the roster.
That they've ever had in their entire history.
Yeah, this is stupid. It's stupid.
All right, well, then if they go with Cam, if they stick with Cam Newton, then they're not going with Mike McCarthy. That would just be idiotic.
It just I've seen a lot of it. They're going with Kyle Allen. Well, Cam Newton's been nursing an injury, and he had surgery. Like this is why all this happened. He's gonna be, and I know there's a lot of narratives about this, but I think that at the end of the day, Cam Newton's going to be the guy next year. They just re-signed one of their linebackers. They're spending, they're willing to spend the money. They're not trying to win 3 years from now. They're trying to win now. So they're not going to get rid of Cam Newton.
Sticking with the devil's advocate, though, and looking at what other quarterback could they go with that fits what James just described, Teddy Two Gloves and Ryan Tannehill.
Both those guys are staying with their current teams. They're not letting those guys go. What are you talking about?
The Saints can't keep Teddy Bridgewater. The Saints are already over the cap.
The Saints can't keep Bridgewater. Bridgewater's going to be somewhere else next year, but Tannehill is going to be the new long-term starter in Tennessee.
I'm not buying that. I think both of them stay. I think both of them are less likely to leave than Newton.
And by the way, not only are the Saints in cap hell, as they'll only have $7 million in cap space, Breeze and Bridgewater are both free agents.
Both up, right.
Can I just ask Neil a quick question, Your Honor? Is the salary cap on December 26th the same as it is in March 15th, or are teams allowed to make some changes in between then and now? Because who cares if they're over now?
Yeah, the cap can change at any point. You guys speak a lot about the cap, but actually, when it comes down to it, I'm not sure how important the cap really is when you're talking about the top-level players.
The Saints
cap is supposed to go up by like $20 million next season
and clear $11 million plus there alone. They can cut Kiko Alonso and save another $6.5 million.
Bite your tongue, Kiko.
I love Kiko, but you got to do what you got to do.
Monty, before I was rudely interrupted by that drunk guy in Buffalo, it can change whenever. It can change from minute to minute.
That's my point. I don't think Teddy's going anywhere. Why would you get rid of Teddy Two Gloves when you got a 42-year-old quarterback?
Yep,
because they already had to pay Teddy Two Gloves the highest contract of any backup quarterback.
Remember, Jay, the key point to that is they know that Bridgewater fits well into their system because they had a run of games with him where he played well enough to keep them on a winning streak. I think he won like 6 out of 7 games or something like that.
And that strategy led them to the 1 seed. Do you think they're going to all of a sudden decide maybe we should switch that up?
Yeah. Teddy will get handsomely paid, and no doubt a guarantee that he's going to be the guy when Breeze goes. If Breeze doesn't go this year, of course.
Little Breeze insurance, I'd buy that. They're in good shape.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Quickly on the injuries for this game, for the Saints, we have Marcus Williams, Michael Thomas, Eli Apple, Drew Brees, Andres Pete, Von Bell, and Kiko Alonso. For the Panthers, Shaq Thompson, Gerald McCoy, Kyle Love, Greg Olson, Trey Boston, DJ Moore, Marcus Haynes, and Brian Burns.
A lot of rain in the forecast for Sunday. We got showers, and 67 degrees is the high in Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Run the rock, New Orleans. Run the rock.
We're finally at the 4:00 games.
Did you acknowledge, I didn't listen to the podcast at the weekend, did you acknowledge Michael Thomas breaking the reception record?
You mean shattering it?
Well, yeah, he's going to shatter it in the end. Yeah, absolutely sensational. Sensational.
So 155 over, under?
Depends how much he plays this week.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, they have to win. They're still in have a shot